Michigan football starting quarterback JJ McCarthy has attempted 30 combined passes in his 2 starts last week versus Hawaii, and of course, yesterday in the 59-0 win over UConn. So I want to ask you guys this question. Take a little pulse from the crowd. Now, we'll talk about Cade McNamara in a second, but with Cade injured and the unlikelihood that they would bring him in like they have the last 2 weeks in the first half, how many passes will JJ attempt versus Maryland coming up here on Saturday, 6 days from now, 12 o'clock at Michigan Stadium, Michigan's 4th of 8 home games this year? Only 30 passes in 2 wildly outmanned blowout victories attempts for JJ McCarthy. So I'm going to say 27. I do think Michigan really needs to up those passing attempts, but I want to know from you guys. Go down and comment. Let me know what you're thinking. We have got your Overreaction Sunday, the hottest takes, the biggest overreactions from fans and media, all here in the Michigan Football Report from Chat Sports, coming up right now. I am your host, James Yoder, here in the Michigan Football Report from Chat Sports, and we are presented by Manscaped. Do you think this is a mistake, folks? Do you think it was a mistake? I'm looking good, just as good down there as I am up here, and that's because I'm trimming up and doing all the good things down there with the men's grooming products from Manscaped. Get yours 20% off and free shipping using promo code GOBLUE, no spaces, at manscaped.com. I'll tell you more about them later on in the show. So, if you didn't see our post-game show yesterday, I'm going to link it down in the comments and the descriptions, but it was another blowout for this 2022 defending Big Ten championship team with JJ McCarthy at the helm, 59-0. Very happy I am that Michigan got the shutout, and gosh, 59-0. Seemed like they left a lot of points on the table there. I mean, in the first half especially, I thought Michigan could have probably scored another 14 or 17 points. Second half, it's same old, same old. They left J.J. McCarthy in for a little while. Davis Warren, I think actually, crazy enough, Jack, I didn't actually go back and look the exact number. Maybe I apologize. That's my job. I should have. But I think Michigan played 6 or 7 quarterbacks in this game. They were rotating in so many guys on offense, so many guys on defense. Look at those stats, though, from the quarterback from UConn. 4 of 16 for 17 yards, right? 23 yards was their top rusher. Look at that receiver. Aaron Turner, 2 catches, 3 yards. Michigan side, J.J. McCarthy had a game, 15 of 18, all right, so he's very accurate again, 83% of his completions. Blake Corum, those 5 touchdowns. Ronnie Bell, having himself a year, right? Had a nice game versus Hawaii. And then another game here against UConn, 7 catches for 96 yards. I want to jump into the overreactions. You guys should be familiar with this show. We did Overreaction Monday last week because I was traveling on Sunday, Overreaction Sunday 2 weeks ago. And every single Sunday last year, we did Overreaction Sunday. So what we do here is we look around the internet, we look at tweets. I put out some stuff on social media, say, hey, what are your overreactions? And I just kind of get a vibe of what the fan base, the media, the general consensus around college football is thinking on this team. Again, these aren't my takes. I'm going to tell you what the top takes are, and I'm going to give you my general opinion and where we go from here on this team who is 3-0. And the polls will come out right about now here on Sunday afternoon, so I expect Michigan to be in that top 4 again. I don't think anything's really going to change from that perspective. But the number one take I've got, mostly from the haters, Ohio State fans, Michigan State fans, this is the easiest schedule of all time. Who made this schedule? Anybody could be. My grandma could be 3-0 versus the schedule. She could win the Heisman. And admittedly, folks, it's a pretty rough schedule. And I didn't know until I heard actually John Jansen, Michigan's new play-by-play guy, say this a couple days ago. The reason why these games are scheduled, right? They all were done multiple years in the past. So Michigan had no idea that these teams would be so bad this year. But Colorado State and Hawaii both have athletic directors with Michigan ties. I think one or multiple, one of them are Michigan grads, the other one worked at Michigan or something like that. And then, of course, Ward Manuel, Michigan's AD himself, worked at UConn, was their athletic director before Michigan brought him over after the Dave Brandon debacle, and then the interim AD before they settled on him as the permanent athletic director, followed by Maryland, right? And this Michigan team will go into Big Ten play as the most dominant team in the country. Frankly, them and Georgia are head and shoulders above with cupcake opponents, although Georgia did play Oregon, but they dominated them, just like Michigan has their opponents, as the most two dominant teams in all of college football. 59-0, 465 yards to 110 yards. This defense has not given up a point. The first team defense has not given up a point. Michigan has only given up 3 points in the first 3 quarters of their first 3 games, and then you gave up the touchdown versus in the fourth quarter versus both Colorado State and Hawaii, but UConn could not get on the board. Is this the best start ever for a Michigan football program? Well, it's certainly the weakest schedule I can ever remember, and that's fine. There is no incentive other than fan joy and maybe a slight bump in the rankings to beat a big-time team, right? What did Michigan get from beating Washington last year? I don't actually know. Looking back, Washington was supposed to be good, turned out to be terrible. Michigan, in the history of the program, has never scored 50 points in 3 straight games prior to yesterday. So it's the first time that's ever happened in the history of the Michigan football program. So pretty big stuff, right? And I have been championing this since the preseason, right? Only one time prior, Jim Harbaugh's second year has this program scored 200 points in a month. That was in 2016. Michigan was averaging 50 points a game well into, I think it was the 6th or 7th game before it kind of dropped before 50. And this team has clearly a very likelihood chance of doing that again this year for the second time ever. The only real question is, with 166 points, quick math there, 34 plus 8. They only need 43 points, 42 to tie, 43 to break it, to break the all-time record for the first month of the year for 1 month in the month of September. Michigan, 166 points so far, the fastest start from an offensive and scoring perspective in the history of this school. I got a fast start last night, Jack, in the bedroom. That's because of Manscaped, right? I'm keeping it clean downtown. I'm smelling good. I'm looking good both here and, of course, down there. Look, don't be the guy who gets lazy in the relationship and just lets the jungle grow down there. Get going with Manscaped. Don't use your Bic razor and end up cutting yourself a bunch of times. That could be ugly. I've been using the Lawnmower 4.0 for about 2 years now. You shave the twig, you shave the berries, you shave all around there. Maybe it look a little bigger down there without everything going on. And they have a ton of other products out there for Manscaped. I use Manscaped for shampoo. I'm using for conditioner, ball deodorant, regular deodorant. I've got Manscaped. I'm not even joking here. Hold on. One second. This isn't even a plug, right? I just have it in my pocket. Manscaped chapstick. You see this, Jack? I mean, the entire suite of products for my nail clippers are Manscaped as well. Manscaped is the place to go for guys to stay groomed and stay healthy. Go to manscaped.com. Promo code GOBLUE. Get 20% off the best male grooming products on the market. 20% off and free shipping. Manscaped.com/ program code GOBLUE. Link down in the comments, link down in the description of today's video. Manscaped.com. Use that promo code GOBLUE. A lot of people saying the offensive line has regressed so far this season, and I do not disagree with a lot of those people who are saying that, right? The offense, the running game hasn't been wildly dominant like we saw in 2021 with Hassan Haskins, and there's been some twerks, and JJ McCarthy can use his legs to kind of mask some of those problems with the offensive line, but Cade McNamara is going to miss the next few games, right? He came in, and when I first saw it, I was like, oh, same old Cade, but he got injured, and he took a couple shots there, and he will be out the next couple games. So JJ McCarthy will be Michigan's only proven quarterback. What? Does that make Davis Warren their backup quarterback? It is interesting to say. So I'll talk more about the quarterback situation and the offensive line here in a second. But before I do, look, I'm excited, right? I don't want to be the guy who looks back and says, man, you were an idiot in September of 2022. Like I look back at our videos from 2020, I was calling for Jim Harbaugh's head. Probably deserved, but looking back, the best move Michigan ever made may have been Ward Manuel giving Harbaugh another year. So let's just keep things positive. Until this team proves otherwise, let's all be super fans of the Michigan football team in 2022. Give me a Go Blue down in the comments. And the more you do, the more people who love Michigan football who have yet to watch the show may see us show up in the YouTube feed. So help us out, help yourself out, help us team out. Give me a Go Blue down below. How about the quarterback situation and rewarding JJ in the red zone? I do think JJ McCarthy has a chance to be special, has a chance to be something really special when it comes to this season, next season, career-wise, what he could do from a perspective of Ohio State, Big Ten championship, college football playoff, national championship. but he's got to get some touchdowns. And the biggest thing I was disappointed on yesterday is he went 15 of 18. He was pretty damn accurate, 214 yards, but twice they threw the ball. He had a pass, one to Eric All, one to Ronnie Bell, inside the 1 yard line, and they ran the ball next time. Blake Corum scored a touchdown. Now, McCarthy, 30 of 34 so far this year. Jack, what did I say that was percentage-wise, right? It's 88%, 88.23% this year, but only 3 touchdowns and 1 touchdown rushing, no interceptions so far. I want JJ to be the best quarterback in the country. I think he has a chance to be the best quarterback in the Big Ten this year, maybe the best quarterback in the country, win a Heisman Trophy, something like that. But if he goes games without any touchdown passes, people who don't watch every snap are going to say, oh, I'm not even joking. I got a text for the game yesterday from my friends who are Ohio State fans, Notre Dame fans, and be like, thought you said JJ was going to win the Heisman, no touchdowns versus UConn? And that becomes the perception when you get into the depths of an entire season. So I think Jim Harbaugh should do what he's clearly done with other guys. Think last week versus Hawaii, right? Donovan Edwards has a big run, a big catch. You give him the ball to score the touchdown. Another guy has a big catch down to the 2 yard line. You give him the ball in the next play. Ronnie Bell, Roman Wilson, these guys, give them the touchdown. Give JJ McCarthy the touchdown, right? Don't always just default to the running game, especially in these blowout victories. I would love to see JJ McCarthy get a couple rollouts and either run the ball in or just kind of toss the ball over the top to a tight end running back or kind of a wide receiver curling around. Give JJ the rewards for the plays that he clearly is making, because we have never seen an offense through 3 games put out the kind of offensive, the statistical performance that this team has done so far with JJ McCarthy as quarterback. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't yet. I hate to keep asking, but there are so many people. We have had over 60,000 Michigan football fans so far in the month of September, here through 18 days. 60,000 to watch the show have yet to subscribe. So, we could be we're 21,312. We could be at 80,000 if the 60,000 would just subscribe to the channel. It costs nothing, and it'll get you. The only thing you do is benefit you, right? You get more content in the feed. You make sure you don't miss a video. You can always ignore us. So go ahead and subscribe. We would certainly appreciate it. And I think, honestly, you would appreciate it that you get the most watched and the only daily Michigan football show anywhere in the entire world. So that's the Michigan Football Report, hosted by me, James Yoder, from Chat Sports. So I'll chat out there about, look at the stats Blake Corum putting up, right? 7 touchdowns this year. 1 in the opener, another one in the game versus Hawaii, and then 5 touchdowns yesterday versus UConn. He is sitting there at 34 carries, 235 yards. And honestly, these are really like stats for like 5 quarters, right? 5, maybe 6 quarters throughout the entire year, because Michigan has gone to the bench, gone to the backup early on. But those 5 touchdowns, just like I mentioned with JJ McCarthy, they help the season-ending total. Let's just say you get in the Big Ten, play 9 games, and he has 8 touchdowns. Well, 8 plus 7 is 15. That's a hell of a fucking year for a running back, right? So think about Hassan Haskins last year. Those 5 touchdowns against Ohio State, those bolstered him from like 15 touchdowns, whatever it was, up to 20. I think it was 22 he ended up with. Blake Corum is doing the same thing here, and it doesn't seem he's going to have the rushing stats, although, Hassan threw out 175, 210 here and there last year. So with the emergence of the passing game and, of course, Donovan Edwards being a wildly capable backup for Michigan, I don't know if Blake Corum is going to get 1,800 yards, which it would probably take for running back to win the Heisman Trophy. But if he gets 21 touchdowns, 22 touchdowns, 23, he will be at least in that mix and will likely win the Doak Walker Award for the best running back in the country. So keep feeding the ball. When Michigan scores 50 and 60 points a game, I know it's fun to get the backups the touchdowns, but it really helps out with national awards and conference and All-American rankings, and ideally recruiting when you have your stars get those kind of touchdowns. So keep an eye out for that one. If they keep giving Blake Corum touchdowns with this really easy schedule, we've got a lot of easy games coming up, he could end up with 20-plus touchdowns and put him right in the mix as the best quarterback or running back in the entire country. Look, Michigan is favored in every single game going forward up into Ohio State game. ESPN's FPI says they have a 60% chance or higher against every single team till the Ohio State game, which frankly, funny enough, Michigan is still only has like a 22% chance to beat Ohio State, which I think is a little wild. But I want to know from you guys, will Michigan lose a game before Ohio State? Will they start 11-0 or no? So type yes if they'll lose a game. So yes means they'll lose a game. N means they will not. Let me know down in the comments. And if you type yes, I want to know who you think they're going to lose to, because I am sticking there at 11-0. And that's my last overreaction from a lot of you guys. I saw the articles. I heard some stuff on radio, podcasts. I listen to other people's stuff. I just want to hear what the general consensus out there is. And I think it's pretty clear to everyone that it would be a disappointment at this point with the skill we've seen at quarterback, running back, defensive line, secondary, the best special teams unit all around in the country. If Michigan loses the game, who is it going to be to? Sell me how another team prior to Ohio State in the road, which Michigan hasn't done in 2 decades, is gonna beat this team, right? If it happens, it's going to be a wild, circumstance of events and a hell of an upset if it happens. Here is the schedule coming up for Michigan. You've got, the 3 games so far this year: Colorado State, Hawaii, UConn, big-time blowouts. I expect something similar. Maryland will score, but it should be something like 49-17 coming up on Saturday from the Big House. Then you got going up against Iowa, right? And admittedly, disappointing, terrible kind of Iowa team. Indiana, Penn State, Michigan State, with the bye in between, right? Okay, all right. But what about those teams that makes you think that they're going to beat Michigan? I haven't seen anything personally yet. We'll see how things shake out. There's still 3-4 weeks before either one of those games get rolling. Then you get in November. Rutgers, that's a victory, right? That's definitely a victory. Nebraska. Look, they scored 7 points against Oklahoma yesterday, and then Oklahoma's rolled off like 200 straight points after that. Absolute blowout. Illinois, where is the loss? So I think it is a likelihood that Michigan will be 11-0, and this team will get all kinds of hype from the national media, the local media, the players will be up for all kinds of awards. But they can't go down to Columbus and lay an egg. So that is kind of with the focus. You don't want to let up. You don't want to have a look-ahead game. But this team, just like last year, needs to have Ohio State on their mind. I really think that this could be one of the all-time great seasons of all time. You've got 11-0 start right ahead of you, and you go down to Columbus, you win that game, go to the college football playoff with a quarterback like JJ McCarthy, who, in my opinion, should be able to go up against toe-to-toe with any guy that you put them in front of. Bryce Young, Caleb Williams, of course, C.J. Stroud, and others. So I am excited. I've said this maybe in passing, maybe not really thinking about it, but I've said this could be the best Michigan football team of my life. 3 terrible teams, but I'm expecting more of the same the next couple weeks, of course, against Maryland, and then we'll see what they do on the road against Iowa. Let me know what your biggest overreaction is to yesterday's 59-0 victory. Go down in the comments. And remember, what's an overreaction? It's like, what did I think in the moment? If you saw my Twitter account, you'll see something. I tweeted out, like, Michigan might be the best football team in college football history. Clearly an overreaction. Clearly just, throwing it out there when they just drop a touchdown or 2 in a row and they just block a punt. Get a punt return for a touchdown. I'll tweet things out that. What thing did you say to yourself? Did you put it on social media? Did you tell a friend during yesterday's game? Let me know down in the comments. All right, we'll be back on Monday with our Michigan football grades, looking at the offensive line, the coordinators, and everything around this program, headed in to Big Ten play. So make sure you subscribe and come back with us on Monday. Until then, go Blue.